everybody, welcome to today's show. I'm really excited about today's show because I get to go over the best time for you to sell a home. And I know that many of you are going to think, well, it's the spring market, that's the best time, and I'm going to move on. But no, please hang tight, listen to the show, because I think you're going to definitely retain some great information that you might not have heard elsewhere before, and that's sort of the point of my shows and really trying to convey the message out to the masses out there. So let's start off with the spring, because let's just say, you do hear the hype about the spring market, and that's initially when you think is the best time to sell. You're not wrong. Spring is a great time to sell, but there are pros and cons with spring. So I'd like to go over them with you and really break it down for you, because you really need to think of yourself first. I think that first and foremost, I want to make sure that you out there that are watching and listening to my show really understand that it's your needs that come first. And it doesn't matter what anybody says, as long as you're ready and it's the right time for you, we can make it work. But let's just talk about it. Let's talk about spring first, as we are heading mid into spring right now in 2016. It is a hot seller's market. There's bidding wars happening left and right, and it's been the case now for a while. We've seen inventory sort of lag, and there hasn't been much out there. So buyers are really getting nervous, and really things have been moving a lot faster. But normally in a spring market, you do get the pro of your home looking nicer, the days are longer, the grass is green, usually in most cases, if you've listened and done some landscaping. So your home is going to present really nicely for those buyers that are driving past your home. The negatives would be there are more buyers looking in the spring, which could make them a little more picky on the listing that they're going to see. So if your house maybe needs a little work, or if the kitchen is so-called a little outdated, it's not anything brand new, and with the modern amenities that buyers are looking for, they might pass on a different property if those factors are in play. So generally, the pros would be right now, definitely, like I said, your house will stand out as far as curb appeal. Negatives would be that there's buyers out there that are shopping around, and usually there's more inventory in the spring, which could make your home compete with many, many other homes that are on the market, and not entice that buyer as easily as the other months. So that would be like the major con, I think, for selling in the spring market. Then as we head into the hot summer months, you'll see that around our area, things sort of pick up as far as the atmosphere. We are a seaside community. The whole North Shore is based on, seaside communities living and beach living, hashtag beach living. And you will find that most buyers, really want that draw to them is the lifestyle. So it can be a little easier to convey that message when the beaches are open and they're gleaming, and you can take photos of the beaches and the areas that are fun for buyers that are coming into the town, and incorporate that into your listing. So that is definitely a positive. The negative is June, July, and August months. A lot of buyers are a little bit less motivated because they might have secured housing already, whether it's their children that are needing to start school in the fall. They really needed to wrap things up. So you might not get as many buyers in the summer months. Then as you head into the fall and winter months, there's a whole nother pool of buyers. The pros on those is easy, a little bit less inventory. The cons would be, and also the pros, I feel like I have to mention this, is the more motivated buyers. Those are the buyers that absolutely need to get into a home by the holidays. So you'll find the process maybe a little easier because you are dealing with buyers that are motivated. They've done the legwork as far as their pre-approval goes. You're not really wasting a lot of time. The negatives would definitely have to be that it's colder, there's less curb appeal. In New England, it gets dark early, so it's not as easy to show the home before. Most buyers usually see the home in the evening, so by that time, it's usually dark in these parts. So that could be definitely the cons of selling in the winter. But what I think a lot of real estate agents don't take into consideration when thinking about listings really is, when is it the best time for you, but also for your specific property? I'm watching these houses go up for sale. I mean, it's different when, you absolutely need to sell and yesterday you had to have it on the market. It was circumstances as far as your work purposes or financial reasons. That obviously has to come into some consideration. But if you don't necessarily have that urgency to make sure, if you're not really needing to be out of the home by a specific date and you can wait a little bit, I find that I've seen houses that have these gorgeous even fireplaces or these stately grand living rooms, cozy, where you could picture a wood burning fire going in the cooler New England months. And I think that is the sexiness that a lot of realtors out there don't necessarily take into consideration and think, well, what's the best time to show off this house? Because ultimately, your home's best features are what the buyers are going to be pulling the trigger on. I've seen homes with these gorgeous backyards and pools that are gleaming in the summer, but yet the listing is being sold in January. So something like that is definitely something you should think about and really gauge of what is best for not only you, but for the property itself. And I like to call the property a product. What type of product are you selling? Really consider all the factors that come into play with your home, and really it is a product. And once you go on the market, you are competing with other homes that are the product and the other homes that are out there. So you want to make sure that you customize it and produce a marketing plan that will capture that buyer's attention. So I hope you learned something today. It was kind of short and sweet. We can get into this for a very long time, obviously, but first and foremost, make sure that if you are a seller, a potential seller, that you consider when it's the right time for you.